for notifications, sir. And I believe we are live. I'm just waiting for notification. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a special edition of Off the Record, the People's Podcast this evening. I want to thank Brother Dewayne Muhammad for taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a conversation with us. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. All praises due to Allah. I'm doing fine. And thank you for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. I want to make sure I extend the greetings of Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Wa alaikum salam. And first off, I would just like to say in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, bear witness that there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. And thank you for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. My first question for you, Brother Dewayne, is when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Yes, sir, brother. Thank you. I first heard the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad when I was in the Navy, stationed aboard the USS Chandler. A brother told me that he had a book for me. But he said, right now you're into that Christianity stuff and I'm not ready to give you the book yet. So he waited for a whole year before he gave me the book. And that book was a green hardback cover, Message to the Black Man with the gold writing. And I have never put that book down since I got that book. And that was in 1987 in the middle of the middle of the Pacific Ocean, somewhere where I received that book, Message to the Black Man. So I was in the Navy when I first heard the teachings.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Walaikum salam, Sister Naima. Walaikum salam, Sister Candace. They both give you the greetings as well, sir. Thank you all for watching.
Please tell them walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. Why did you accept the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Most Honorable Min Farrakhan?
After I read Message to the Black Man, brother, it was like walking into a transformer. All the questions that I had all my life were coming from the AME church, being an AME son of an AME minister. For over 44 years, my father was an AME minister, and he wanted me to be in the AME church, to be a bishop, had me lined up to be in the AME church and everything. But when I found that Message to the Black Man, brother, it verified every question that I had. It answered every question that I had about God. I took those keys to understanding the Bible and the Quran, and I highlighted my Bible, and it verified everything to the T that I ever believed in my life. And this was the thing that I was looking for all the days of my life, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you very much, Brother Victor P. Muhammad. And moving forward, I look forward to interviewing you one day as well, sir. My sister Miriam says assalamu alaikum. And thank you again, sir. How did your parents feel about you accepting the teachings?
As I said, my father was an AME minister, and he was very, very upset with me when he heard that I had joined the nation. He told me the stories because actually where I live at in my neighborhood back home in Charleston, South Carolina, we live right in back of the mosque there in Charleston, South Carolina. The mosque is on Hugo Avenue. We're on Groveland Avenue. We used to throw rocks and break the windows out and just be bad, try to disrupt the temple meeting while the meeting was going on. But I didn't put together that it was the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because at the time that they had taken over that property, it had become the property of Imam W.D. Muhammad. So it seemed like Allah put a spirit of the children in the community to just disrupt the meeting, break out the windows and everything. I mean, they had to board up the windows, brother. That's how much of a knucklehead I was growing up. I used to break the windows out of the temple. And Brother Yasin Muhammad, Abdullah Muhammad, he always cracked a joke. He said, you wasn't breaking the windows that God, you was trying to get in the temple, brother. That's what you was trying to do. So my parents were upset. And then a Final Call newspaper came out, brother. And my father's, he's like a regional minister. You call him, they call him bishops in the AME church.
Yes, sir.
But Bishop Frank Madison Reed Sr. was my father's bishop. And he had in the Final Call newspaper, it's time for us to get some eye for an eye and some tooth for a tooth and a life for a life. It's not time for us to be turning the other cheek. And I told my father, I said, well, this is what the bishop is saying. He's in the Final Call newspaper. You're not in accordance with what he's saying. So, man, I'm going to the nation. And that was it. That was it.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Sister Veronica, alaikum salam, family, and thank you all for watching. Excellent, sir. My next question is, what mosque did you come into, sir?
Yes, sir. I came into Muhammad's Mosque, number 8, San Diego, California. Beautiful little manger of a mosque there on the West Coast. And a lot of people don't know it, but San Diego is the first mosque on the West Coast. It was established in the 1940s. First mosque on the West Coast. 8 comes before 27 any day of the week. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad set up had San Diego set up, had the 5 brothers come out west and set up San Diego, and that's the doors that I came through. Like I said, a beautiful mosque. It was April 14th of 1989 that I finally found the door.
Okay, excellent. Yes, sir. And when you came in, who was the laborers who trained you in San Diego?
When I came through the door, we was going through an intern. Minister Amos Muhammad was the second minister that started San Diego on this side of Calvary. There used to be a young minister, Harvey Muhammad, and then Minister Amos Muhammad took over. And right at the time that I took over, Minister Amos was being relieved. So I really didn't get a chance to tenure under Minister Amos, but we got a fireball minister from Los Angeles, California by the name of Edward X, who later became Rahim Muhammad. And he was the lead minister there. The sister captain was Sister Securia Muhammad at the time. Sister Securia at the Sister Securia XR Muhammad. I can't remember. She was an XR Muhammad. Yes, sir. The secretary was Brother Eddie, and the brother captain was Jeffrey Muhammad out of Buffalo, New York.
Okay, praise be to Allah. And thank you all again for watching. Alaikum salam, Brother Damien. Thank you for always showing love, Brother Damien, as well. My next question is what was it like the first time you met the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan?
Okay. The first time I met the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he came to San Diego for the Stop the Killing tour. And we was assigned to his bedroom that night after he did the speech. Before we got Steve Muhammad sleeping inside the minister's room, and we got 3 brothers out in the hallway. And I don't know how the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan got out of the room, but he was downstairs having coffee with the with some Caucasian man downstairs. And the secretary, Brother Eddie, came and woke us up, and he said, "Brothers, get up! The minister is already up and downstairs." Man, I got a big, gigantic Quran in my hand, sleeping in the hallway, and the minister done snuck out the room past us. So we run down there, and my minister and Minister Farrakhan is having a conversation. And I did not actually get to meet the minister until we got to Oakland, California. And me and my captain was having coffee in the lobby of the hotel. And me and my captain, my minister, was having coffee in the hotel. And a brother came up that was a waiter and said, "Did y'all wash your hands before y'all read the Quran?" So I said, "Did we wash our hands before we read the Quran?" I said, "Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from Afghanistan." I said, "I tell you what, you just served my sister over there some pork. Did you tell her in the Quran that in the 11th surah it talks about usury? You just served her some pork, but you're worrying about if we wash our hands before we read the Quran." He said, "I tell Farrakhan on you." I said, "Tell him." Next thing you know, RoboCop and another brother from the security team comes and wave for us and say, "Follow me." And we get around the corner inside the hotel, and the minister is there having coffee in the hotel. I didn't know that the minister was in the hotel. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan dismissed the pastors that he had, and he came up to me, my captain, and my minister. And he said, "Brothers, I would appreciate it, brother, that when you meet the people as being my followers, that you wouldn't beat up on people about the menial tasks that they may do. Maybe in time, Allah will bless him and he won't have to do the menial tasks that he's doing. But I would appreciate it if you, of my followers, that you wouldn't go around teasing people about the jobs that they do." And we just said, "Yes, sir, brother minister. Yes, sir." And when the minister dismissed the brother was looking at us like, nah. I told Farrakhan. So the minister came up to me and they said, "Brother minister, this is a young brother right here that we just got out of the military. His name is Brother Dewayne. I'd like for you to meet him." And the minister grabbed my hands, brother. And he said, "Brother, always remember as you travel in this mighty vast nation of Islam, always remember that it is the people that leave Allah and the nation. Allah and the nation never leaves the individual, but the people always walk away from Allah." He said, "Will you remember that everywhere you go?" And I said, "Man, oh man, woo-wee." It blew me away, brother. I said, "I'm living in the FOI house." I asked my captain, the minister, I said, "I'm living in the FOI house. What is he talking about traveling in the nation?" So my captain was like, "Boy, you better listen, boy. He tried to tell you something." And That's how I met the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Excellent. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your transparency, and thank you all for watching. I got a follow-up question for you, Brother Carl Murray says, thank you all for the great service. Sister Miriam is smiling at the minister, making it past you. Brother Warren, and something like Brother Warren, Brother Abdul Malik, pardon me, sir. So the heaven says, Brother Dewayne, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
In-law just sent this to your brother to view when he gets off work. All praise to Allah. Thank you for sharing your history. You and his brother have an awesome way of sharing our nation's history. My MM number 8, mine's number 8, as told by 2 again, Brother Josh Muhammad. All praise to Allah. For Mimi says his name is Veronica. I'll say all praise to Allah. Brother Wayne, now when you said Brother Steve was in the suite, are you talking about Brother Steve, who the martial artist, Brother Steve?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, praise be to Allah. I just wanted to, put us in the
yes,
right.
Sir. Yes, sir. I don't know how the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan got out of that room, bro.
Yes, sir. So good.
Don't know.
Okay, excellent. My next question is, how did you start doing security for the minister?
Okay. I was married in San Diego, and I got a divorce in San Diego, and I left San Diego and I moved to Phoenix. And it was a unique situation moving to Phoenix, brother. It's one of the most unique situations that I ever seen in the nation. At that time, I was driving a Lincoln Continental in San Diego, and we want to be on the team, and we got all flashy color suits because we had the Dope Busters program too. So we had FOI security, FOI houses. I mean, we was the glory days, the gator shoes, everything. And I say, when I moved to Phoenix, I want to move as a humble person because Phoenix has a way of labeling people as coming out of California as being arrogant. And I said, I don't want to go to Arizona with that attitude. So I came to Phoenix, brother, in a 1979 mail truck. When I came to Phoenix, I left my Lincoln Continental to the secretary at that time in the city, and I drove to Phoenix in a busted mail truck. When I got here, nobody was standing post at the National House. Nobody was standing post at the National House. I parked my truck at the National House, and I stood post day and night. Go back a little bit. I called Minister Joe because Minister Joe was the minister at that time. I love that, brother. Give a shout out to Minister Joe. He's like my spiritual father, and Sister Joyce are my spiritual mother and father here in Phoenix. But I came to Phoenix and I called Minister Joel on the phone. I said, Minister Joel, I am the assistant minister in San Diego. I am coming to Phoenix. I do not wish to teach when I get to Phoenix. I don't even want you to tell nobody that I'm assistant minister in Phoenix. When I get there, I just want to be Brother Dewayne. I don't want to be Brother so-and-so's brother-in-law. I don't want to be Sister so-and-so's husband. Treat me as Brother Dewayne. And I went to every brother in the city and told him that I come in here as a brother. Don't label me as my brother-in-law. You get to know me for me. And I wanted Minister Joe that I didn't come here to take no position from him. I came here to help Minister Joe. I came here to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I stood post day and night for 3 years. The whole time I was here, brothers that did not want to stand their post, they would pay me to stand their post. So I'm helping Brother James at the National House, helping him out at the National House. I'm not being paid. So the first year that I did that, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan watched me for a whole year and did not give me a dime and did not offer me a dime. But I did it for the love because I wasn't looking for a dime. I never asked the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for a dime for working at the National House. And me and Brother James had that house spick and span when I was at the National House. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came one day and told Brother James to come get me. After a year, brother.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Post in the day, work at night for a whole year. Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan called me in the house. And he said, brother, I want you to know that I appreciate everything that you do around here. And my family appreciate everything that you do around here. And if you would accept the offer, brother, from this day forward, I would like for you to be on my team. He said, would you accept that offer? I said, yes, sir, brother minister. And he pulled out a check with his name on it with the number 2 Port Treasury with Dewayne Muhammad on the check. I took the check and ran out the house and said, woo, I'm on the team. Guess what, brother? To this day forward, I don't know what team he was talking about because I ran out the house. I don't know what team he was talking about. So I assumed that it was the E team. But it can't be the E team because I never was accepted on the E team. So that's not the team. So I've been trying to figure out since 1996 what team was he talking about, because it ain't the E team, because I never was treated with honor and respect from what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said he seen with me on the E team. So that's what that's at. That's how I met the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He asked for me to be on the team. I didn't ask to be on the team, and I don't know what team he was talking about.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Okay.
All praises due to Allah.
Yes, sir. So when after he asked you that, when the ministers in Phoenix for quite some time, throughout the year, did you start doing more security for him, or was it more helping in the house as far as like?
At that time, I started working at the house with Brother James. After that day, I started working at the house with Brother James. So I got there in 95 and was standing the post all year from 95 to 96, working, volunteering. Then 96 came, and that's when he put me on. In 97, I had some death in the family, and I moved back to South Carolina, and I never came back to Phoenix. And that's when I developed the label of being an agent and a hypocrite when I moved back to South Carolina. When I got down to South Carolina, somebody out of Phoenix was telling the people down in South Carolina that I was an agent and a hypocrite. When I got there, the word got to Charleston before I got there that I was an agent and a hypocrite. So they held me out of Charleston for just about the whole time I was there, said that I was a troublemaker. Matter of fact, my handle at the National House when I called to speak to the minister is this Brother Dewayne from South Carolina? You mean skinny, black, dark-skinned Brother Dewayne that's always causing trouble all the time? Is that him? That's my handle at the National House. Yes, sir. That's my handle at the National House. Brother Dewayne is always causing trouble all the time. So, man, brother, I used to get, my wife is not here, and thank Allah for my wife and my family who stood by me for all these years. She's not here, right? I mean, she's doing an interview. She's a midwife. She's doing an interview with one of her clients right now.
Yes, sir.
But when I got to South Carolina, brother, they treated me so bad, brother. I would get in a fetal position in my house and cry because of the way that they was treating me. So I became a firefighter. I became an EMT. And one of my, I had got so disgruntled with the nation, brother, until I went back in the military, in the reserves, as a flight medic and a nurse for 1 year. I said, I'm going to go behind enemy territory and set up a beachhead. The minister was paying for Brother Aaron and his son to go down to South Carolina State. My brother went to South Carolina State with all of them while he was there. My brother's a minister down in South Carolina, but he went to South Carolina State and he was down there when Brother Aaron and all those brothers was going there. I said, I'm going to get some of the minister's money back because the FOI book taught me to go behind an enemy territory and learn how to set up a beachhead.
Yes, sir.
So when I worked at the National House, I really didn't have any skills. So I became a firefighter after I left him. And I went in the military for 1 year. When they put my certificate in my hand, I told the devil that he can kiss my black ass because I became excuse my expression, but I became a EMT and a nurse after that. And then that's when it just put it in stamp that I've been an agent and a hypocrite ever since. And I've been trying to live that down since 1999, that label of being an agent and a hypocrite. But I'm no agent or no hypocrite, brother. I love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Okay, now when you said your brother-in-law was a minister in South Carolina with Brother Aaron, you were
my brother, my biological brother.
Yes, sir. No, I'm saying when you say the Brother Aaron, you're referring to Brother Salim's son, Brother Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Okay, wonderful. I mean, we just got to put, because all of the interviews come together, so we had the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
yes,
he was down there, but he was on something else while they was down there. He wasn't down there with them.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, he was on something else, but he was observing.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, beautiful. Brother Ronald Muhammad says, "Big brother, don't hold nothing back. Tell it like it is." 2 a.m.
Well, look here, man. Look here, man. The minister have been using the term lately. Well, he used it a couple of times. And I don't know if nobody heard it, but I heard it. He said, the black Muslim Jews. He keeps saying the black Muslim Jews, but he never told us who the black Muslim Jews was. So one of the last things that he told me and Brother James when I worked at the National House, he said, brother, he just came out the house. We got the Rolls Royce waiting on him. He came out the house. He said, brother, in a few days, Allah's going to reveal all of the FBI agents and all of the hypocrites that are hiding among us. He said, they're going to be doing something, and Allah's just going to snatch the cover off of them. And Brother James grabbed me and choked me and said, Brother Minister, when I see them, I'm going to choke them like this right here. The minister took Brother James' hands and put it down. He said, no, you're not, brother. Because when you see who it is, you're going to be so shocked, you're not going to be able to do nothing. You're going to say, that's sister so-and-so. Oh, man, that's brother so-and-so. Oh, man, come on, man. No, man, not them. And he bust out laughing and got in the car and drove off. So ever since that day, brother, and he told me that I was on the team, I'm trying to put all this stuff together. What team it's on? But everywhere that I've been, man, they treated me like a toilet commode, brother. That's where I've been, like a toilet commode. I felt for the last, since 1999, traveling throughout the nation, the thing that he told me, well, you're going to have to go this place and you're going to have to remember and you're going to have to keep your hand on Allah's hand and never walk away, never. When he told me that in Oakland, California, I took that to my heart. And I'm still here today. I'm still standing. And if Allah had not shown me his arm, I'd be afraid to talk the way I'm talking today. But let the chips fall where they may. I believe in Allah, in the person of Master Farrakhan Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that's alive on the wheel. So if it steps on anybody's toes, my life is here.
Allah Akbar. Okay, beautiful.
Just don't bother my family. My life is here.
Make sure you
get me when my family's not there.
Okay,
and I don't say that with no victory oil, brother. But like I said, I have felt like a toilet in the Nation of Islam, and I had it up to here, and I had enough. Matter of fact, I've been hanging out with my daddy's bishop's son online, listening to his things, and crazy thoughts been coming, man, you should just leave that stuff, man, and go to the AME church. And it keep coming back to me. Why am I going to the AME church? Why am I going to leave the nation? Bishop Reed, when he was in Los Angeles, he was ready to leave the AME church and come to the minister. The minister told him, no, don't leave the AME church. You stay where you at, because if you're teaching the truth where you at, then we got the truth. So I'm not going nowhere.
Praise be to Allah. My sister Naima says, teach the truth. My sister Miriam says, thank you for sharing, brother. Sister Heather Muhammad says, give my sister a great big old hug. Sister Veronica says, Sister Naima, yes, Sam. Brother Allah knows your heart. Sister Mimi still standing. Praise be to Allah. My next question is, when did you go from seeing the Most High Farrakhan as maybe a political figure or a good speaker to someone who was divinely guided?
When I was a little boy, brother, I wish I could pipe my mother on the line. But when I was a little boy, brother, I used to follow my AME minister in the church that I grew up in. I would follow him like I was his personal bodyguard. I would get the car ready. I would get the books ready, take his books to the car. Reb, come on, let's go. I got his coat. I got his robe, everything. But I say, man, there's something missing, man. This is not what I'm looking for. And when I met the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I ain't had to make no distinction between a political and this, that, and the other. When I was on the ship, they called me and said, Jesse Jackson is running for office. Aren't you going to vote for him? And I was like, I don't even know who Jesse is. He's from South Carolina. He's from the same place you from. I said, well, just because he's from South Carolina, I'm going to vote for him. And then I started hearing the minister, you know what I'm saying? I said, man, there's something about this man right here. Listen to Wheat Street Baptist Church. Politics without substance. At Wheat Street Baptist Church. And I ain't had to make a decision whether he was, I didn't have to make a decision. And anybody in San Diego will tell you that I ain't never been unclear on who the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was as being the Jesus in our midst. I've been seeing it since I came through the door. I knew who he was, and I'm not bragging. I said all praises due to Allah. But like I said, being the son of an AME minister for over 44 years, I already had the Bible. So ain't nobody had to sit me down and tell me nothing about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This is the man that I was looking for all the days of my life, brother.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, wonderful. Thank you all for watching. I have a quick commercial break from the sponsors of this episode's podcast. I want to make sure that we give a special shout out to designersofcomposure.com, Khalid's Boutique on Instagram, Supreme Men's Clothing in St. Louis, Missouri, 10835 West Florissant Avenue. My mom keeps saying I got to pronounce that better because it's a specific avenue in St. Louis. I'm working on it, brother. 63136 is the zip code. The phone number is 314-528-555. Make sure you all, if you want to get some fresh clothes, you all go and support all of those places. Shout out to the Supreme Men's Clothing for always looking out, sir. I appreciate that. Supreme Spring Water. Everybody get your water. Make sure you get your water. My sister Miriam's coloring book, ABC I Love Me, and her children's book, ABC I Love Me, both of which are on Amazon. Make sure you all get that. My brother Rashad, street premiere, video production and editing. He's working on some great projects with films and movies as well as music videos. He got some great things on the line. My second book, which is a children's book, Cleopatra. Make sure you all support that on Amazon. And last but not least, my father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharifMuhammad.com. Thank you all. J Imagination is my Cash App. If you all have a business you would like me to sponsor, please let me know. We will promote it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Okay, I want to read the comments. Brother Warren, it says Warren Jackson, but Brother Abdul Malik from Chicago says, all praises to Allah. Go ahead, black man. I have been treated like you, but in 1995, I wrote my letter to Master Farrakhan Muhammad that keeps me moving forward, even though my own brothers who tried to kill me. Okay, Brother Paul M. Muhammad says, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam, Paul. Thank you all for watching. Yes, sir. Back to you, Brother Dewayne, and thank you again for your transparency.
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, let's start with the May Man March. What was the impact that it had on you, and what was it like leading up to that in whatever city you were in?
Yes, sir. I was in Phoenix, Arizona once again, me and Brother James, because at that time, the E-team wasn't traveling with the minister as much as they were. The only people that would come out would be Brother Rashad and Brother Haroon. Those good brothers, all praise and due to Allah. Thank you for them. But it was Brother James and myself until the minister, Brother Haroon and Brother Rashad, when he came out. I would say the minister came out to Phoenix about somewhere around May or June when he came out in 95, because he did a speech in 95 because we had just remodeled the National House. So yeah, he came out in June and reestablished his residency in Phoenix, Arizona. And he stayed in Phoenix, Arizona all the way from June all the way to the March. And one beautiful thing that happened, all praises due to Allah, one of my most memorable moments of the Million Man March, more than anything, is the night that he finished going over his notes with Brother Jabril for the speech. And they called me in the house and said, Brother Dewayne, do you know where Sister Linda live at? And I said, yes, sir. He said, well, I just finished my speech to the millions, brother. And I want you to take it to Sister Linda so you can get it typesetted for me. Brother, looked like somebody hit me with a Mack truck, man. I said, man, he said, you know where she live at, right? He said, you're going to be all right? They said, if anything happened to you, brother, we're going to come looking for you. I said, Brother Minister, if anything get in between me and getting to Sister Linda's house, it's going to be death. Ain't nothing getting in between me going to Sister Linda's house. Ironically, the name of the place, they call me a bean soup scientist too, but ironically, the name of the place that Sister Linda lived was called Corona Apartments on Corona Street in Phoenix, Arizona. Corona Street, and we're delivering the speech of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to her to get it typeset. So we moved on to the Million Man March, and when I got to the march, brother, like I said, I'm supposed to be on the team, but I'm just standing around. Nobody never told me nothing, so I'm on the team. I'm on the team, but nobody never told me nothing. So that day, brother, all I did is walk around and talk to the people and thank the people and talk to little soldiers and stuff. I didn't have a post, so I was a freelancer, I guess. So that's what I did at the march. That's the impact that it had for me. But I just wanted to look at the millions. I said, I've not been with the minister for the past, I don't know how many months now. Let the people see the minister. So I just walked around in the crowd, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Has there been something that when it was just Brother Shah, Brother Roon there, and you get to see the minister every day, is there anything that he said to you that stuck out in your mind?
Woo! The minister got mad at me two times at the house. One day we going back to the airport and he's running late for his flight. And the minister handed me his violin and his suit. And I had the minister's suit bag. And his suits fell down in the bag. And when I went to give it to him, he said, brother, these are my suits, brother. But the look that he gave me, brother, you know how it is when your mama tell you to go and get the belt or go. Look, brother, if looks could kill, I wouldn't be here to talk to you today.
Yes, sir.
And I felt so bad, man, that the minister, you know how when you carrying a suit bag and some of the suits fall down in the thing?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to run to catch up. I got the violin, and you know when the minister moving, he got the violin. Mother Khadijah was moving. They was leaving me. I'm dragging the violin and the suit bag, brother. When I got to the plane and gave it to him, that was one of the worst feelings that I ever had with working with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And the second time, he was sitting out on the patio one day, and some water was dripping on him from the roof. So he said, brother, he said, is somebody up there peeing on me, brother? And I said, no, sir, brother minister, ain't nobody peeing on you. That's the condensation from the air conditioning unit. He said, brother, let me tell you something. Look, if you're gonna work here, don't be giving me no fast answers. If I ask you something, I want you to explain to me what you're saying. What is the definition of condensation? I said, sir, I don't know the definition of condensation. But what I'll do, I'll go get Brother James because he's an air conditioning man and he can explain it to you better than I can. And he said, all right, then. So Brother James came back and explained to him what condensation was. And brother, when I went back to South Carolina and started studying the spiritual meaning of the word condensation, it blew me away. Spiritual meaning of the word condensation is like the wheat and the tares and the darnels, the poison that come out the darnels is what put the disciples, put people to sleep. So what he was telling us is that somebody is peeing on him and we sleeping is what he was telling us. That's what he was telling us spiritually. He was telling me and Brother James that we were asleep and we didn't know the time or the hour that was going on.
That's right.
So those are the two times that he really affected me.
Okay. Yes, sir. What has been your greatest joy in your tenure in the Nation of Islam, sir?
My biggest joy in the tenure in the Nation of Islam?
Yes, sir.
Oh man. We're gonna jump one of the questions that I told you about now. This is the biggest joy that I had in the Nation of Islam. Like I said, I came in April 14th of 1989. There's a lot of things going on in the country with the Black youth. The government is going after the Black youth rising up inside America. And the minister is teaching about Black youth in Chicago. So I'm riding with my captain one day. And he said, man, I got an idea, man. I'm gonna come up, man, with this thing called Stop the Killing so we can get some help for these gang members, man. We gotta get some help for these gang members. So he went and made a call to a brother, and the brother said, I'm gonna be talking to the minister in the morning, and I'll mention it to the minister about Stop the Killing. And that's how Stop the Killing got started. I'm with my captain the day that it jumped in his head that he was gonna have Stop the Killing. And he got on the phone and he called the brother. And the brother said, I'm gonna talk to him in the morning about it. I mentioned it to him. The brother called us back in the morning and told my captain and said, the minister said he don't like that title. He don't like the title Stop the Killing. He's like, wow, man, that's crazy. Man, I mean, like, the minister said, call me back in a week. We called back in a week. The minister said, let's run with that title. I like it. I don't want them to stop the killing because I didn't tell them to stop. I didn't tell them to start the killing. I didn't tell them to pick up the guns. They pick up the guns themselves. So why are you calling me to tell me? I'm not a firefighter. I don't tell them to stop the killing. So we started planning out to stop the killing after we got the word that the minister wanted to do it. Mind you now, I don't even have my ex in the nation yet. I'm just a processing brother. Los Angeles is coming down to investigate me because I'm still in the military. I'm wearing my uniform. Brother, anybody can tell you, anybody online can tell you, when I left the military base with my FOI uniform on and went back with my FOI uniform on. They called Los Angeles and had the regional investigator come down to tell me, either you get out the military or get out the nation. You can't do both. I said, well, that's an easy decision right there. I ain't got to get out the nation, but I'm going to get out the military. So I was kicked out of the military in San Diego and wearing the FOI uniform back there, and they didn't have the money to put on the Stop the Killing. So they said we need roughly about $5,000 to get the minister's cars, get his hotel, get the plane tickets and everything, because the first Stop the Killing was a unique thing because since our city was voluntary gifts, we said we want to make the event free. We didn't even charge a fee for the event. So your little brother that you're talking to, all praise is due to Allah, and this has been my saving grace in the nation until I closed my eyes. This was the happiest day for me. to be able to front the $5,000 for the first Stop the Killing tour. Then the believers put together what was called a patron ad and finished up the rest of the money that we needed for the Stop the Killing tour. And after the Stop the Killing tour, after the minister spoke at the Stop the Killing tour that night, I said, man, you know, I'm the man. Shoot, I didn't finance the tour. I'm going to go up here so I can see the minister. My captain gave me a stack of Stop the Killing t-shirt, and I was outside while the minister was teaching Stop the Killing. I didn't even get to hear the Stop the Killing lecture because I was outside selling t-shirts. Major trial. Try my heart. Let the people see the minister. I ain't got to worry about it. Came time for them to pay the money back. When they said they was going to pay the money back, I said, brother, you don't have to pay me the money back. Give it to Allah as a gift. And with this $5,000 right here going to do for me, this is going to seal the deal for me in the Nation of Islam, that if I never pay another dime in the Nation of Islam, this $5,000 right here, all the people, anybody who mentions Stop the Killing in their mouth and in their head came from San Diego, California. Those believers in San Diego, California have never gotten the credit for starting Stop the Killing. I know all credit and praise is due to Allah, but sometimes even a dog wants you to pat them on the head, man.
Yes,
you know,
yes, sir.
Even a dog want to be patted on the head sometimes. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan went on lately to say that the Stop the Killing tour came from the vision of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And it is what took him to the door of the Million Man March, the Million Family March, and all the marches that we have had. So like I said, your little brother gave the $5,000 and I gave it from my heart. I didn't even have my ex yet. And I told the minister and my captain and the secretary in that office, I do not want the money back. And I have done it as a trial inside the nation because I knew that I did it. And I've been waiting on them to call me a hypocrite and say he gonna pay charity. I've been waiting. I've been trying to set a trap for them, but they wouldn't come. So you brought me on here today and I was able to let it out today that your little brother is the one who fronted the Stop the Killing tour. All praises due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. We appreciate that. And on behalf of myself and my family, we want to make sure we thank your wife and children and your family for their sacrifice as well, Brother Dewayne.
Yes, sir.
Speaking
all praises due to Allah.
Yes, sir. Speaking of wife and family, what advice would you give to future husbands?
Man, you know, there's a lot of internet dating going on and social media dating going on and brothers meeting sisters from other cities and everything. You know, I done got caught up in trouble on myself on the internet, you know, with my wife, and she had to straighten me out. So there's a lot that's going on with marriages inside the nation. But I'm here to tell you that I met my wife online. And this year right here, all praises due to Allah, we'll be celebrating our 18th year anniversary, and we met online. We have 3 beautiful homeschool children that never been in the white man's school before. They go right here at this house right here at Al Najm Academy, all praises due to Allah. I had a little ripple in the water where I had to go to Minister Joel and Sister Joyce. I say that the believers should seek out the older couples inside their the elderly Muslims that been down the road before and know the way, and go down and sit with them. And after Sister Joyce raked my head that day and Brother Joel combed my head that day, brother, I think we was halfway. I think this was 07 when we had to sit down with them. And we still going down the road, brother. Still going down the road.
Praise
yes,
sir. What advice would you give to future fathers?
The future fathers?
Yes, sir.
You got to make a base for your queen so she can make heaven for you. When I met my wife, she was working in the textile industry, making 6 figures when I first met her. I ain't had a dime in my pocket, brother. She was making 6 figures, and I'm making $9 an hour as a security guard. She came home and told me that she was pregnant, and she said, I ain't gonna be, she sat on the stairs, she said, I ain't gonna be able to go to work. I said, man, you better go down there and do some people tell you to do, girl. I don't know what you got to do, but you need to go tell them, you got to do what you got to do. You need to do what you got to do. She came back the next day, brother, and sat down and said, Dewayne, I can't do it. I said, you know what? You go in there and you tell them, kiss your black ass. And she went in there and she did that. And my wife has never been on a job since that day. And anybody that thinks that I'm lying, go and type it in and say my wife been on the job since we've been married. My wife ain't never been on a job. If I had to go out and get 2, 3, 4, make my own business, my wife has been here with my children for the past, going on 17. They're going to graduate this year. My twins, all praises due to Allah. She has been in the house making a base and making a heaven for a brother, man. But a brother got to be able to shoulder his responsibility. Whether it take you, don't let nobody tell you something. They got this talk going wrong. Oh, get off the white man job, get off the white man job. Yeah, the white man job, but yeah, you at home getting welfare. That's not the teachings. You at home getting welfare. You might as well go get a job. You got your wife going there and you on welfare. Man, get up and do something for yourself. Even if you got to go get a job. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us how to get employed and how to stay employed. Don't hide behind that do for self, don't get no job for the white man. Get out there and take care of your family. That's what you need to do. That's what a black man got to do. A BMW. Get a BMW, a black man working.
Yes, sir. Allahu Akbar. Brother Kareem Ali says, Brother Josh, we got a talker today. Yes, sir. All praise to Allah. Thank you all for watching. My next question is, what do you want your legacy to be, sir?
Man, oh man. Man, oh man. I think the greatest, like I said, I think the greatest work that I have done inside the Nation of Islam is, all praises due to Allah. When I was teaching the processing class in San Diego, all the brothers that came through San Diego through the processing class got out of the military. And you can ask your father about this when he was the supreme captain. We was getting so many people out of the military, brother, until the devil called your daddy, called headquarters and say, hey, stop them from taking our people. So your daddy was like, look, if they got themselves in there, they're going to have to get themselves out. Y'all have to stop going down to the base and taking them out. We was taking them out so fast, brother, until the devil stopped us. They call headquarters and say, stop it. Stop taking the soldiers out. So we had a hell of a processing class in San Diego, man. We was processing brothers and sisters going in there and telling them, hey, I can't fight no more. One brother, they tell him, I got to get you out in 24 hours. Another brother that's on here, Brother James, I don't know if you noticed, but another brother that came through San Diego when I was teaching the processing class, him and 3 brothers was on the USS Ranger. They had to stop the Desert Storm War to get them out. The attorney Arif had to go get them out the military because the devil said that those 3 brothers was trying to take over the ship with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But it was an agent that was among them that was trying to coerce them to say that they was taking over the ship and working for Saddam Hussein. Tell them to meet them down at the rocket launcher. And Minister Farrakhan told them to go to the rocket launcher. And the brothers stood their ground, brother. Stood their ground against the devil. They had to stop the Persian Gulf War to get these 3 soldiers off of the ship. I'll never forget Brother Danny that was on the ship that came out of New Orleans. We buried him like a couple of years ago. I'll never forget him. He's one of the brothers. And Brother James Muhammad down in Alabama, he's the main brother. Brother James is the main brother that gave the devil hell. And he came out of the processing class in San Diego too. We had some warriors come out of San Diego. And I just want my legacy to be, man, that I just love the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not an agent. And if they kill me today or tomorrow, I've been doing Friends of Farrakhan since he told us in October of 2000, I want everybody under the sound of my voice to go get a computer because the devil is dumbing us down. And I want to be able to come to you in your homes with your computer. So that day, me and Brother Philip from Lions Out the Cage were standing on front row at the Million Man March. And Brother Philip said, brother, when we get back, man, we should open up a thing called Friends of Farrakhan, man. And I said, yeah, Brother Philip, let's do it. So if you remember that picture with the little boy standing on the shoulder with the fist in the air, you ever seen that picture?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've seen it.
That's your little brother right here. I became the poster child for the Millions More movement with that poster right there. When I was being called an agent and a hypocrite, I had that little soldier on my hand with him with his fist in the air. But that wasn't my son. That was Brother Philip's son. And I always tease Brother Philip, and I said, man, you ain't even pick your own son up, man. I had to pick your son up on the shoulder. Don't your uncle, man. So that wasn't my son on my shoulder, but that was Brother Philip's son. And he was my helper in Friends of Farrakhan. Me and Brother Philip lasted for about a week, and we crossed ways. And I've been doing Friends of Farrakhan ever since. I had a few sisters help me with moderating, but for the past 19 years, I've been taking bits and pieces of the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and some of the things that I call food for thoughts, or maybe many call it bean soup science, but none of them can refute what I'm saying, but they call it bean soup science. But we've been doing this for 19 years for no pay, 365 days a year, 24/7, elite for 19 years for no pay. Never got an award at Savior's Day. Never got a thank you. Never got this. Never got that. But like the minister, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, this a little boy playing with marbles, and he's a little boy inside of a big man. And when everybody is going after kudos and the praise and the applause and, oh man, you did this and you did that. If a man did something for 365 days for 24/7 for 19 years, I want all the secretaries in the nation to put that on a charity report for me and ask how many people came through their city through Friends of Farrakhan or through Stop the Killing, and just stack all that up on a charity receipt. Sometimes it's not about money all the time, and we got to get out of money. If a believer don't have money and a believer got time, time is charity too. Mm-hmm. Don't just look at somebody because, oh, he gave 5,000 in savings, then he's a good brother. No, who gave him the 5,000 to give? Huh? Mm-hmm. What about the time that people have put in? That's what I want my legacy to be. If I die today or tomorrow, I can say, all praises due to Allah. It's been a good 30-year run inside the Nation of Islam. It's been beautiful. All praises due to Allah. Brother, I don't want for nothing. I don't even want no money. I don't even need no money. Allah got me in a position, brother, where I am living the promise of Master Farad Muhammad, money, good homes, friendships, in all walks of life, brother. And I'm not bragging. I say all praises due to Allah because I put my time in and I put my trust in Allah. So it don't bother me now. My wife, if they kill me or if I die today or tomorrow, my wife will be secured and she's taken care of. I didn't put my time in. I didn't put my work in. I'm good. In the name of Master Farad Muhammad, I'm good.
Praise be to Allah. Brother Martin F. Muhammad says, charity is time. Brother Kareem Ali says, all praise due to Allah, teach, and facts. And thank you all for watching. And thank you, soldiers. And I look forward to interviewing you both as well soon. Brother Dewayne, I want to thank you for inboxing me because it's my first time having having a face-to-face with you. And I learned so much about you, sir. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for putting in work. I'm going to make sure that I shout Friends of Farrakhan out on Facebook. Anytime if I see it across my timeline, we want to make sure we share and support your efforts in Friends of Farrakhan. And once again, thank your wife and your children for us. We thank you all for your sacrifice. And I just thank you for putting in work. Those stories that you gave us today are powerful. And may Allah bless you to keep soldiering, brother.
Man, thank you, Father, for giving me. Tell him thank you for giving me a drink of water that day when I came to Atlanta, man. When the baby was crying, and the baby, I went down there to meet with him because he was trying to help me get back in, and straighten out what was going on in South Carolina and everything. So your father had a meeting with me, and we went out in the hallway, and it was a baby crying in the hallway, and I told the sister, "Give me the baby." And the baby came to me and stopped crying inside the hallway. There were about 20 believers in the hallway with us in Atlanta, number 15. And your daddy said, man, ain't no way if this man is a hypocrite like they say he is, that baby would take to him like that. The baby wouldn't go back to his mama, brother. So there was a sister there from San Diego that was a little girl. And she said, Brother Dewayne, what you doing here? I said, I got to prove to Minister Sharif that I'm not a hypocrite. She said, a hypocrite? Man, that brother ain't no hypocrite. But please thank your father for that day, because that's what made me move back to Phoenix that day when I went to go see your father, man, and he gave me a drink of water, man. I love that brother, man.
Praise be to Allah.
Thank you, brother.
I'll make sure I tell him that. That means a lot to him. He loves to hear good stories like that. Thank you all for watching.
Victory oil. This is no victory oil. This is no bragging. That's just how I feel, man.
Allahu Akbar. That's beautiful, sir. And I want to thank everybody for watching the People's Podcast. If you all would like to be interviewed or know someone who should be interviewed, please message me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We want to keep the People's Podcast going, and I thank you all for it goes by word of mouth. So I just thank you all for keeping this going, and I appreciate that. May Allah bless you, sir, and thank you all for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Alaikum salam.